Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is Chris Irving coming at you from Kratom Kingdom in Knoxville, Tennessee. Today's going to be a little different. It's going to be a story time. I don't usually do story times because I don't have that many interesting stories. But anyway, some people asked me, how the hell did you end up on a commune? Or in a cult? It was kind of a cult. But it's an interesting story nonetheless. I was living in Asheville, North Carolina, and I thought I was happily married until my wife decided she didn't want to be married to a disabled guy anymore. So she kicked me out. And she kicked me out in a very quick hurry because her new boyfriend, was coming over to move in 10 minutes. So she had to get me out of the house in 10 minutes because she knew I would have lost my shit and gone crazy on the guy. And so anyway, she said she was going to call the police because she said I hit her, and I had never laid a hand on her, ever. I've never laid a hand on any woman, ever. I just don't think it's a cool thing to do. And anyway, so I grabbed her phone and I threw it across the room, and now she had evidence that said that I hit her because I destroyed the wall, the phone, and everything. So I quickly got my clothes, loaded them in my car, and moved out. I had no place to go, so I moved to a river called the French Broad. And I slept in my car for a good 2 or 3 nights until I got a phone call from my parents saying, "What do you do? Are you really living in your car?" I'm like, "Yeah, how did you know?" Like, "Your brother told me." And I was like, "Oh, that little bastard." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm doing fine though. I'm all right." And like, "No, come to Knoxville and live with us." I'm like, "I'm 40 something years old and I'm going to be living with my parents." I was like, "No, thank you." So I ended up. I was already on disability at the time, so I had a little bit of money coming in, not a lot, but a little bit, and I went on Craigslist like one does when they're looking for something, and I found what I thought was the perfect place to live. Little cabin, log cabin in the mountains, on the top of a mountain in Black Mountain, North Carolina. $300 a month. So I'm like, hell yeah. So I zoom out there, meet the lady. She's wearing a robe with nothing underneath of it, and she's like, "Yeah, we have a nice little community here of people. Several people live here, and let me show you to your room if you're interested." I'm like, I'm interested. Yeah, naked people and $300 a month. Yeah, I'm interested. So she brought me down to the garage, and in the garage, in the corner of the garage, was a little framed out area, which she called a bedroom. Concrete floor. So I put my bed in there, and which filled up the entire room almost, and my computer. And I happily paid her $300 a month to live in this garage. It was better than living in my car. And then I started to notice there was an old man that lived on the property in a trailer just on the outside of the property. And this old man he looked the part. He had the big long Santa Claus beard, long white hair, and his name was Raja. Dr. Raja, he called himself. And Dr. Raja happened to be the one in charge of this commune. Not the woman who owned the property, he had conned her into giving him the property to open a school for enlightened people. It was basically a new age school, and he wanted to preach the new age. And so she said, "Well, we all have a little job we do here. That's why they're right so cheap. And your job is going to be tending to the garden." And I was like, "Okay, that's cool. I can tend to a garden." And so I did. I tended to the garden, and on the property was this beautiful waterfall, and which everyone bathed in, because it was a perfect place to bathe, because there was no shower and there was no running water in the house. So we all went out so we would all take turns getting buck naked and taking a shower out in this waterfall. It was beautiful, and I didn't mind being buck naked. I like being butt naked. I especially like being butt naked in public. Um, so I fit right into the place kind of, and then there were chickens that laid eggs. There was a huge vegetable garden that I was in charge of, and I was doing really well with it. And I was plagued with migraines. I had them ever since I